Hello kindergartners, we're going to be on lesson 14-5. This is on page 829. So go ahead and turn to that page. All right, we're going to look at this line that I have. What are some different ways that I could measure this line? What could I do? Well, one of the ways that I could measure it is using my cubes and seeing how long and how tall my line is. So I'm going to actually draw a picture of that so I can use my cubes to measure how tall it is. What's another way that I can measure this? Now, should I use a measuring cup for this? No, a measuring cup wouldn't work because it doesn't fill the whole cup up like a sugar would, or salt, or flour. How about using a scale? Could I see how heavy this is? That's a way that I could measure it. So I could draw my scale and I can measure how heavy it is. Now, could I measure how green it is? I can tell that this is green, but it's not something that I could measure. I couldn't see how green it is. There's not a tool for us to measure that. So I think the two tools that I could use would be my cubes to measure how tall it is and my scale to measure how much it weighs. And today we're going to be talking about different tools that we can use to measure things. All right, so on this page, it has this button, and we want to see what are the different things that we could use to measure this button. Now, the colors right here, can we measure colors? No, we cannot measure colors, so we're going to put an X on that. Can we see how long it is or how wide it is? Yes, we could use cubes. How about a scale? Could we use a scale to see how heavy it is? Yes, we could use a scale to see how heavy it is. So these are the two tools that we could use to measure a button. We can't measure how blue it is, so that wouldn't work. All right, let's look at this page. We have a pot right here. Can we use colors to measure how green this is? No, we can't measure how green something is. How about a scale? Can we use that to see how heavy it is? Yes, we can. How about a measuring cup? Can we see how much stuff we could put inside our flower pot? Yes, we could use a measuring cup. We could use a measuring cup to see how much this can hold. All right, let's try number 3. Here's a little pink flower. Can we use this color wheel to tell us how pink it is? No, we can't use that to measure it. What about some cubes? Yes, we could see how tall. We could use the cubes to see how tall it is. So yes. What about a measuring cup? Could we use a measuring cup on a flower? No, we wouldn't be able to measure a flower using a measuring cup. That wouldn't work. All right, now we have a paintbrush. Could we use this color wheel to see how orange it is? No, that wouldn't work. We can't measure that. That's not something we can measure. It does have an orange handle, but we can't measure how orange it is. How about some cubes? Yeah, we could see how tall this paintbrush is. So we could use cubes to measure it. What about this measuring cup? Can we use the measuring cup to measure the paintbrush? No, we can't use the measuring cup. That wouldn't work. All right, last one. Can we use the color wheel to see how purple this paint is? No, the paint is purple, but we can't measure that. That's not something that we could measure. How about a scale? Can we see how heavy it is? Yes, we could see how heavy it is. How about how tall it is? Yes, we could use cubes to see how tall it is. All right, let's keep practicing this on our independent practice. And the first one I have is this fire truck. So what are the tools that you can use to measure the fire truck? Then we have a wagon. Circle the tools that you can use to measure a wagon. Now for number 8, I want you to draw a circle around 2 measuring tools. Then I want you to draw something over here, draw something that we can use to measure. We can use these tools to measure. Okay, so which of these 3 things are tools that we can use to measure? Then draw something that we can measure with these tools. All right, so number 9. I want you in this box right here to draw an object that can be measured using this tool. So what can we measure using these cubes? Then on this side, I want you to draw an object that cannot be measured using this tool. All right, this one's a little bit trickier, so you might need some grown-ups help with this one, and that's okay. Just try your best. This one is what can you use, draw an object that you can measure with these tools, and this one that you cannot measure with this tool. Try your best, see what you can come up with, and then post this page onto Seesaw.